Hey everybody, it is Alicia and Luna here. Today is April 1st that I am filming this, so bunny. um, so I don't know about anybody else, but the past 2 weeks for me have been a up and down roller coaster of truth and evolution and epiphanies of authenticity, where I haven't been authentic, what's calling for me to be authentic, how can I express that, exploring what that looks like, having certain situations come back, how to show up in a way that is more authentic to me now than past patterns, giving myself permission to take action in what is aligned with my heart, releasing control, and just surrendering to a co-creative process that goes far beyond me, the I, and in letting it be embodied in a collective we, and the expansiveness of that. And so specifically for April, I'm gonna play around in a little new way. I'm gonna say certain themes that have come through, but then I'm gonna let spirit channel around those specific themes. And so the themes that came through that want to be explored this month are the idea of vulnerability, connection, and the creation in each now moment. And in the sense of vulnerability, it's allowing the self to be present to aspects of being that thinking, operating, and giving yourself permission to really witness yourself, to really witness the reactions that you have, to witness how you show up in dynamics, how you may be not in alignment with the heart or the emotional aspect, but how the mind can run you and make decisions in a way of the projections of others can influence your way of thinking, and that then you are taking your free will and allowing it to be distorted by the way other people thinks that you should behave. And instead of allowing yourself a permission, a level of vulnerability in which you can examine that you are in a performance and that you are not necessarily in a flow, in a place where your heart is speaking to you, a place where the fear has captured you so much that thinking it's going to be the same as the past is causing you to make choices that interfere with what you really know deep down in your heart you want. And when you allow yourself to witness how you really feel, get in touch with what really is causing you pain, giving yourself permission to really examine how certain behaviors make you feel, how certain titles that you believed to be who you were are actually not able to hold who you're becoming. And the shift in that, giving permission to move beyond the structure of belief that had kept you in a place of refinement. For it had once given you a sense of belonging. But that sense of belonging is actually no longer what belongs to you. It served its purpose, and as you metamorphose and grow and move beyond what is asking to take shape, what is asking to be birthed, is something that exceeds the vision that you once had for yourself. We know that this level of awareness can be dumbed down by behaviors of performance, of numbing through dopamine, food, through excessive work, through excessive worry, through the filter of the same, of the pain happening again. For those titles, these containers that you've created for yourself kept you in a place of what you thought was safety, but now you are growing beyond that box. And we ask you to explore this in each moment, bringing the awareness of how you feel, getting in touch with the emotional body. This month, the understanding of the lower chakras is coming online. There is a depth that is being ignited within the chakras that will re-examine safety, that will re-examine the capability of the emotional self, the creative self, the desire self, the willpower of the self, the action of the self, who one is, who you define yourself as, the worthiness that you are able to embody for yourself. And it is in that allowance, it is in the play of that exploration that when you come into contact with other people, when you come into contact with essences of nature, of spirit, of animals, of whatever it may be, the dialogue will be different. For the level of which you are allowing yourself permission to get in touch, to have a sense of safety, to have a sense of vulnerability and in attunement to the emotional self, that you become very clear of what you desire and what is not in alignment with you, what is not, what may be for somebody else, but you have taken on because you needed something from an individual. But no longer are we asking, are you asking, or no longer will this serve you going forward? And as you show up, as you I'm thinking of the word, processing the word. Tap into what is becoming. When you show up in relation to another, from an inquiry of what would be authentic for you in that moment, in that conversation, in that energetic sphere, with an individual, with a group of people. As you become more safe in exploring and tapping into and expressing you, then your actions will be aligned with your desires. You will have a sense of safety, and then that combined with the power of heart, of love, to love this aspect of yourself, to have compassion for parts that you've disowned that are ready to be seen and heard. And allow yourself a sense of grace for where you dimmed yourself for another, for a group, for society. There's so much within society of projections, of statements that are telling who and what should be this, should be that, should feel this. This means that, that means this, because you're this colored, because you're this race, because you're this sex, because you're this, because it means the XYZ, but it doesn't. When you give yourself permission to own your authentic being outside of this, telling you, defining you, that's where the power is gained. That's where empowerment happens, is when you are able to regain a sense of self outside of what others want for you, for themselves. And then you can choose to show up in a way for you, whether it is in alignment with them too or not. And alignment doesn't necessarily mean doing the exact same thing. Alignment is a shared understanding, shared core beliefs, shared heartness, that it is in the exploration of each individual's path. Being led by the heart. Working, defining, exploring what that is. And understanding there are times when choices aren't aligned with that. And that does not define who you are. But it is through the knowing that we can make another choice in each moment. And we can grow from the situation that those choices brought us to. And moving forward, always ask for Spirit. We are here for you. What would move forward for you? What is going to help you expand and grow and evolve? And it may not always be easy. But the beauty is, the heart will be in it. And that's a different experience than the head alone. They each have a place. And explore what that looks like with yourself and in relation with others. And at the time of much change, observe even harder. We want you to know that at this time, the amount of evolutionary change is very fast. And the growth of growing pains is something many of you have encountered. And we want you to really find peace in this, and joy and laughter, and create a sense of embodied harmony, where you are stepping into a version of yourself that will be unrecognizable. And the falling in love with the life you're creating. In partnership. And the support that is there when you're ready. No longer is it going to be comfortable. If you're in any kind of addictive behavior, there's an aspect of yourself that you have deemed that's not okay. And, it can be anger, but it also can be a sense of love and connection that you really want for yourself too. Joy or happiness, rage, all these things. there is place for them. And really inquiring to yourself, meditating to yourself on what these addictive behaviors are showing. Something is asking for attention. And addiction isn't just drugs, food. Addiction is codependency. Addiction is addicted to chaos. Addicted to victim mentality, addicted to work, always busy, always doing something. And there's no shame, because if you're at that point where addiction has taken place, this is a coping mechanism learned where it wasn't safe to have those feelings, those beliefs, those embodiments, to live that way for yourself. And if you ask Spirit to show you what is underneath it, you will see. For they will show you the patterns through external signs, through external situations that catch your attention. Notice. And allow yourself to really be grounded in how what it invokes inside of you. And that level of vulnerability will be moving you forward in a vast way. And you will be able to show up in others, in situations where you have a sense of self. And trust and building together, separate, as community, will be a beautiful thing. That is the message that we have for you. Niokoto yamana. Aho. So that's what we have. That's the messages and the themes for April. And I send y'all a big transformative hug wherever you may be, working through outdated emotions ready to be released, really intense. Patterns, beliefs, ways of thinking. It's that time. It's that time. You got this. And sending y'all much love. Bye.